Hi there, Ronnie here, back again. As saying, having done my 2 card games, I'm now going to do a couple of quick overview reviews of a couple of dice games that I've got over the last couple of months. Those dice games are Qwixx and Roll For It. This is the Deluxe edition. I'm going to deal with Roll For It secondly because of a very specific reason. This is Qwixx. Now, I bought this pretty much on spec. Watched a couple of reviews of it, looked interesting. Essentially, that's all you get. You get a whole big pad of those sheets that you give one to a player. And you get those dice. It's 2 white die, a red, a yellow, a blue and a green. And as you can see, you have red, yellow, green, blue lines. The red and yellow go up from 2 to 12, and the green go from 12 to 2. So, what happens in a game? Very simple. The active player, the person rolling the die, whose turn it is, they roll the die, all the dice that are in play, and the first thing he does is call out, I say he, first thing they do is call out the score on the 2 white dice. Anyone, the active player or anyone else, can mark off that number on any roll. The active player can also, as an addition or as an alternative, can add one of the white die with one of the coloured die and mark off that number on that colour roll. So they could add the white and the green and mark off that number on the green roll. The active player must mark off a number. The other players don't have to, but the active player must. If the active player cannot, or perhaps doesn't want to, then they have to mark off a penalty, which is these boxes down. He's trying to get down here, these 4 boxes here. In order to lock out a number, you'll see that on the extreme here there are padlocks. In order to roll them, you have to obviously roll either the 12 on the top 2 rolls or the 2 at the bottom 2 rolls. But you must already have 5 numbers crossed off in that row already. If you do that, when you roll, cross off that number, you also cross off the padlock at the end, and that coloured die is removed from play. Game ends when either 2 dice have been removed in total from the game, or if one player has scored off all 4 penalty boxes. When that happens, you add up the number of boxes, not the numbers in the boxes, just the number of ones you've crossed off. So if you've crossed off 5 or 6 or 7 boxes, not the numbers in them. The numbers in them are irrelevant when it comes to scoring. And then at the bottom there, at the bottom of the sheet, it shows you the amount of points you get for example, crossing 4 off will give you 10 points. Crossing 5 off will give you 15. Here's the twist though. When you cross off a number, everything to the left of that number is gone. So if you cross off, say, the red 5, red 2, red 3 and red 4 are gone. And if you're the active player, you must, if you're going to do both numbers, you must do the numbers as the 2 whites and then white and a colour. So, you know, it'd just be a pain if the 2 whites actually crossed off a number that the white and a colour could have given you, because you can't do it the other way around. Do I like this game? I love it. I love it. It's a 2 to 5 player game. I bought this for something like a tenner. Wonderful Wii game. Quick is definitely what it is. It's quite strategic. You've got to think with every move. It gets more and more hectic as the game goes on, because obviously as you start to fill up your rows, you're giving yourself less and less chance to actually score points. It is helped somewhat by the fact that the top 2 rows ascend and the bottom 2 rows descend. So it's giving you some sort of hope. Oh yeah, penalty boxes are -5 points a box. So if you score all 4 off, you get like 20 points to try and make up for it elsewhere. Would I recommend this game? Without hesitation. It's a superb little game. Quick, simple, easy to teach, very good to play. Roll for it. This is, as I say, this is the deluxe edition. It comes in this beautiful tin. Nice metal tin. You get 2 decks of cards in here. One with a sort of kind of gold, coppery back to them, and one with a silver back. They're essentially the same deck, just 2 of them. This will take 2 to 8 players. There are 48 dice in here. 8 colours, 6 dice of each. Each player takes a set of coloured die, same colour, so you get 6 dice. On your turn, you'll roll those dice. 3 cards, and you'll see those cards, examples of those cards there. 3 cards go out, and they will have combinations of dice and a number at the bottom. That's how much. That's the score you'll get for getting them. So you roll your die, and if you've rolled an exact match, you can take that card straight away. If not, you can load up the cards. You can put a couple of dice on a couple of cards if you want. It does mean that you have less dice, possibly less dice to roll the following turn, but it does mean if you're looking for a 3 die combination and you've managed to get 2 of them, the next time round you're only looking to roll 1 die. It does, however, mean that someone else, one of the other players, might roll the 3 die, and then, you know, you've lost your chance of getting that card, but you do get those dice back. At the start of your next turn, before you roll your dice, you have a choice. You can either roll whatever dice you've got left, or you can take back all your dice, so you get your 6 to roll again. And that's the thing. You can't take back just some of your dice. If you've got dice loaded on 2 cards, you can't take the dice off just one of the cards. It's got to be all of them. If you get the card, you've got the points. First to 40 points wins. Would I recommend this game? The game, yes. The game is wonderful. It's very fast. Puts me in mind of Yahtzee a lot, which I enjoy. Yahtzee, for anyone who's played Yahtzee, there's a lot of similarity with, you know, sort of rolling combinations to get points for them. So people who enjoy Yahtzee would actually enjoy this game. Would I recommend the deluxe edition? Not so much. Now, I love it. Okay, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's £25. It is vastly overly priced. And the only reason I have this in my collection, well, 2 reasons actually. One, at the time I was doing some community help where there was more than 4 people. so I needed the full box. And two, having already ordered it from my friendly local gaming store, you feel honor bound to actually buy it, even though it's vastly overpriced. Now that is not the problem of the gaming store. They were selling it for the recommended retail price. So there's not an awful lot they can do about it. That is the retail price. It's overpriced. There are two versions. They're known as the red and the purple boxes, which are essentially the 2 to 4 player versions of this game. The cards are a lot more basic. Same information, but a lot of the artwork has been swept back. So they're not as sort of beautiful to look at. And obviously, you're only going to get 4 sets of dice in a tin, in a box. If you are only looking to have a small number of people, I would recommend this game, but I would recommend getting either the red or purple box instead. Or if you can find one of these really cheap, going on eBay, going really cheap, then it's worth a punt then. But out your friendly local gaming store, no. And as I say, I do not blame the gaming store for that. I blame Calliope Games for this. Just to say that Qwixx is by Game Right. I blame Calliope Games completely for this. They've overpriced it hellishly, in my opinion. So, game, yes. This version, not so much. But in terms of the games, I would recommend both of them highly. They're superb, fast, good family games as well. So yeah, I would recommend both of those. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video.